ChatGPT is currently free to use, but it probably won't be that way forever. So it's really important that you test it out now before it's too late. Hey ChatGPT, what would you sell on Amazon? If used right, ChatGPT can help grow your Amazon business. In fact, we've been testing it out on our own products, and so far we found about 15 different prompts that are really useful. Now, while experimenting, we did encounter a few issues, so here are some quick tips to keep in mind when you're using this tool. First, because it's not able to estimate Amazon product sales or competition levels, you shouldn't fully trust it for your product research. Instead, it's best to use it as an idea generator and starting point. It's great for giving you a bunch of ideas that you can then head over to Amazon to more accurately verify whether or not those are good opportunities. I'll show you this process later on in the video, but for this next tip, make sure you're only using it for about 50% of the work. One of the biggest benefits of using this tool is that it helps you do some of the work faster. But as you're about to see, don't expect all the responses to be flawless. You'll most likely need to do some editing along the way, and there's also a few tricks that I'll share with you on how to set up better responses. And also, before you go using any of the responses, my last tip here is to just make sure everything is factually correct first. Now, ChatGPT, it is an artificial intelligence tool that listens and responds like a human, but just like humans, it can lie to us. So for example, if something you generated makes a claim of any sort, just make sure you verify that information elsewhere before using it. Okay, so ChatGPT is currently free to use, but it probably won't be that way forever. So it's really important that you test it out now before it's too late. And if you're watching this from a laptop or computer, I highly encourage you to follow along with me and try it out for yourself. Now, we put a link down in the pinned comment as well as a description of this video where you can download all 15 prompts for free. Now let's get into the first way to use ChatGPT, and that's for contacting influencers to promote your products. Okay, so there are two ways you can do this. First, let's ask it, who are Instagram influencers in the dog niche that have between 10,000 and 50,000 followers, and how many followers do they each have? Okay, so we have about 10 different influencers that we can potentially reach out to. However, just a quick note here that these follower numbers are probably not accurate, and I totally expect that out of this tool. So what I want to do now is actually look up some of these influencers and see if they're within that 10 to 50,000 follower range, and then check out their page to see if they might be a good partner to work with. Okay, so I found one, and this one is Dog Daily Feature. It has about 25,000 followers, at least what ChatGPT is saying, but then when I looked it up, it has about 9,000 followers. So it's slightly under our 10,000 threshold, but still a very good micro influencer that we can probably reach out to. So I might go ahead and send a message to this, but first, let's actually ask Chat to generate that message. So what we can say is write a short outreach message to an Instagram affiliate asking if they'd want to film a video for my product, which is washable pee pads for dogs. Okay, so let's read this real quick. I really like this last paragraph. We'd be happy to provide you with our product and compensate you for your time and effort in creating the video. So that's really strong. So now what I would do is, really edit this template a little bit, and then go ahead and hop over to Instagram, copy the message, and then click send to the influencer.
Wait, hang on a second. You didn't actually send that, did you?
No, no, I didn't send it. The next way to use this tool is to create new Amazon listings from scratch. Especially if you're not the best writer, this tool is great for drafting things like your titles, bullet points, and product descriptions. So you can go ahead and say, write an Amazon listing title between 150 and 200 characters for my product, washable pee pads for dogs. Okay, now the reason we ask for this amount of characters is because typically on Amazon, 200 is the maximum amount that Amazon allows for titles. So you just want to double check that though, because on Amazon, each category is slightly different. But before we hit enter now, remember when it comes to SEO, your title is the most heavily weighted section of your listing. So it's really important to include your top keywords. This is why we're going to ask it to include the following keywords. Now, if you don't know what your top keywords are, here's what you can do. Head over to Amazon and then type in your main keyword. Now from here, you can just pull up the Jungle Scout extension, and then over here, click Keyword Cloud. So now this will show you all the top keywords that are being used on these listings that are ranking on page 1. And you can easily just head over here and download the CSV file. Now, once you download that and open it up in a software like Google Sheets, for example, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna have a column for the words and then another column for the count. So how many times it's being used in a listing. What I like to do is actually create a filter for these two rows. And then I'm actually gonna sort by the count. So that way I'm seeing all the top keywords at the top here. And then probably what you wanna do is, clean this up a little bit. So I see there's a keyword X because people are saying 32 by 60 or whatever the dimensions are. And that's why X is in there. So I'll go ahead and just delete that row. But any duplicates or any keywords you might wanna clean out of this would be a good idea to do that. Okay, now from here, go ahead and copy about the top 10 to 15 keywords and then paste it back into ChatGPT. Washable pee pads for dogs, reusable, waterproof, and absorbent pack of puppy and whelping training. Okay, so I'm probably gonna wanna edit this a little bit. What I would do is add our brand name to the front, our variation to the back of it, and then go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So what I'm thinking right here is reusable and waterproof, and then maybe get rid of this line here, waterproof puppy and training mats, and whelping training mats, non-slip pet pads for pee and potty training. So, it definitely needs some editing, but I think this is a great starting point. And just really quickly with AI, we were able to generate a title. So for me, this is looking pretty good enough to publish. Now let's go ahead and do this exact same thing, but for our bullet points, but this time it's gonna look a little bit different. But first, just a quick pro tip. You can actually organize your chats and give it a name. So I would actually do this one and name it title. That way, every time we come back in here to make adjustments, we know where to go. And then you could also even copy and paste that and say, translate this into Spanish. So if you're also selling in Mexico, this might be a really good option. Okay, now with bullet points, we tested out a bunch of different options, but this is the one that seemed to work the best. Write 5 Amazon bullet points between 200 and 250 characters for my product, washable pee pads for dogs. And then underneath that, we can say what the bullet point format can be, and that's all caps for the first words or first couple words in the benefit, and then the description afterwards, and then include our keywords. All right, so it's generating those bullet points and already it's looking really good. It's doing the exact same format as we asked, and then just reading through these. Our pads are made of high quality absorbent material that can hold up with multiple uses and accents. It's completely describing our product exactly how we would do it, even with our keywords. So if we're happy with this, we can upload it. We probably want to edit it a little bit more, but for now, go ahead and name this one bullet points, and then go to our product description. So for this, you can say, write a 1,000 to 2,000 character product description for an Amazon listing selling washable pee pads for dogs. And then include the following keywords. Introducing our pack of washable and reusable pee pads for dogs. These pads are perfect for training puppies, whelpings, and older dogs who may have difficulty holding their bladder. So that's actually brand new to us. And again, we're probably gonna wanna go through here and edit it, maybe even add in some more keywords and really tighten it up. But as I'm reading this, it looks pretty good already. So potentially we could actually just copy this over to our listing because it's looking pretty good so far. So just like that, within about 2 minutes, we now have our title, bullet points, and description completely written for us with just a little bit of editing. But what if you already created your listing? This brings us to the third way to use ChatGPT, and that's for optimizing your current listings. So say you're like us and your listing is already complete. One thing you can do is double check that you're not missing any high volume keywords that maybe your competitors are ranking for. And if you do find any big ones, you can simply ask Chat to weave those new keywords into your listing. Here's how to do it. Okay, so first copy and paste your existing bullet points back into the chat. And then under that, ask it to add the below keywords to the above Amazon bullet points. Now I'm just doing this for the bullet points, but you can also do this exact same thing for your title and description. But before we go any further, you'll need to know which high volume keywords you're missing. To do that, pull up one of your biggest competitors on Amazon and preferably someone who ranks higher than you. Now with Jungle Scout, what you can do is come over here and click this icon to look up their top keywords, and it'll run a reverse ASIN search. And then from here, you can open up the advanced filters. And what I like to do is add a minimum monthly search volume. That way I'm only finding the highest volume keywords. And then once you click apply, down here we'll see about 60 different keywords that we can now add to a list and make sure that they're added into our title, bullet points, and description. So from here, go ahead and add these keywords into a new list. And then over here in Listing Builder, we can see exactly which keywords we're missing from our listing. So, in this case, we're missing the word travel, cat, bed, apartment. So these are just some keywords that we should ask chat to weave into our listing. Now with these keywords copied, you can head back over to this chat here and say, add these keywords to the above Amazon bullet points, and paste in those keywords. And now your bullet points are gonna have these new keywords that you were previously missing that your biggest competitor is ranking on. Might wanna skim through it a little bit deeper, but so far it's looking pretty good. Fourth way to use this tool is to generate your backend search terms. Now, as you know, these are keywords that are relevant to your product, but didn't make sense adding to your listing. For example, the phrase pee pads significantly outranks urine pads. But because it's still a relevant term that quite a few people seem to be searching for, we want to make sure that Amazon still indexes our product for that term. So here's a helpful prompt you can ask. What words are similar to these? And then you go ahead and copy those keywords over that you got earlier. Now what it's doing is listing a lot of similar words here. So you see for pads, we could also say liners, mats, sheets, covers. For pee, you have urine, excretion, waste, elimination. I don't know why people would be typing that in, but so far you can see a lot of different variations of ways that people can type in your most popular keywords. And these are good to add into your backend keywords. Now, if you want to take this one step further, a quick pro tip here is to ask it to give each keyword its own line and remove commas, colons, and periods. Now what this will do is make it easier for you to copy and paste these keywords into a tool like Jungle Scout, where you can not only save it, but also see the search volume for each keyword. And this is really important because Amazon limits how many words you can add to your backend search term. So this really comes in handy for prioritizing which ones to add and which ones not to add. The next way you can use this tool is to generate your brand name. Speaking from experience, I wasted way too much time trying to find the perfect brand name for my business. While you want your brand name to be memorable, at the end of the day, just get started and try not to get stuck in analysis paralysis. So where this tool really comes in handy is helping you discover great brand names in a matter of seconds. Just ask it something like, I sell pet products on Amazon, and I want my brand to be fun, simple, and target first-time pet owners. Based on this, come up with a few brand name ideas for my business and a short description of what it means, and then click search. So this is actually really cool. It's giving us some relevant names that are fun. They're pretty simple. And then it's also giving us a description of what it means. Probably would want to generate more. And then what you'd want to do if you like one of these is 1, check on Amazon whether or not it's taken. And then 2, check on the USPTO website if you're selling in the United States, for example, and you want to make sure it's not trademarked. You know, let's say we like positively perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that and then head over to Amazon. Now up in the URL, go ahead and delete after the first slash and add shops slash and then the store name. So in this case, it will be positively perfect, and we'll remove the space. And now when I click search, I'm seeing an error page, so I know there's no brand on Amazon with that name exactly. Now to show you what it would look like if the brand name was taken, I'm gonna enter our brand name in, which is Jungle Creations. And then as you can see here, it brings us to a search results page with all the products that we sell, which is currently these 2 products. Now, if you're in the United States, a quick way to see if any brand name is trademarked already is heading over to the USPTO website and searching their database. And so here we can just do a basic word search. And we do see it's trademarked, however, it is a dead trademark. That would mean that we could take this brand name now, and this name here we could use on Amazon, and we could also trademark it if we wanted to. Next, you can also use this tool to help you write supplier emails. Now, I have a feeling this one's going to be really popular because in our big how to sell on Amazon tutorial, we showed this template on screen and we got so many comments asking, where can I download that template? Well, like I mentioned earlier, all the prompts we're using today are available for free with the link down in the description and also in the pinned comment. The one we're gonna be using right now is this one here. So just go ahead and copy and paste it into the chat. And then now what we need to do is edit this a little bit. So I'm gonna put our product here, which is washable pee pads for dogs. And then here, this is where you enter your specifications. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and just copy ours that we have already and actually delete this. And then coming down to the questions here, this is where we would input a link, but for now we can just leave it blank. And then however many units you wanna buy. So for example, let's just say 500 units. And then here you put in your address. We can just leave this blank because we're just generating a template here. And then everything else is pretty much ready to go. And so we'll just click enter. Dear supplier, I hope this letter finds you well. My name is blank and I'm an Amazon seller based in the US. I'm reaching out to inquire about the possibility of your company manufacturing washable pee pads for dogs. Great, and then it says listing our specifications in bullet point format there, and then asking the questions below. This is pretty basic, but it's doing the job pretty well. And so if you just copy and paste a template that we have for you, this can make the whole process so much easier. Okay, now what if you already have a supplier? The next way to use this tool is to write a letter to your current supplier asking to negotiate a better price. Especially as you scale up your business, one of the best ways to increase your profits is to decrease your expenses. And as they say, everything is negotiable. So it doesn't hurt to at least ask your supplier for a better price. And here's how you can use ChatGPT to do that. Write a letter to my current supplier asking how we can negotiate a better price for my washable pee pads for dogs, and then we currently pay $7 per unit. Given the current market conditions in our long-standing relationship with your company, we believe there may be room for negotiation. Wow, this is actually awesome. It's actually giving us reasons that we didn't input for a better price. This is actually so good, you could just copy it and then actually just send it to your supplier.
But wait, you didn't actually just do that, right?
No, Lenny, I'm not sending these. Now, the next way to use this tool is for writing off Amazon blog posts to promote your product. This is still one of the best ways to drive organic traffic to your listings. However, a lot of sellers just don't have the time needed to, research and write a bunch of blog posts on a regular basis. So this is where this tool really comes in handy. I sell washable pee pads for dogs on Amazon. Write a 500-word blog post that shares the top 5 reasons why pet owners should switch from disposable pee pads to washable pee pads. And at the end, recommend checking out the product we sell on Amazon. Here we go. One of the most common methods. So it's writing a good intro to the blog post now. And then, okay, so it's listing the top 5 reasons. So it's eco-friendly and giving a description of it. This is actually looking really good, but you can see the power behind this. So it's cost effective, it's more absorbent. It's just listing a bunch of good reasons that we didn't even input into it. It just knows the benefits of switching from disposable to reusable. So this is looking really good so far. And just like we asked at the very end here, it's saying, we recommend checking out our washable pee pads on Amazon. So it even led into that very naturally. So once you're happy, what's really cool is you can easily turn this into bite-sized social media content. All you have to do is say, turn this blog post into one Twitter post, one Facebook post, and one Instagram post. It's added hashtags, and then especially for the Twitter one, it's keeping it short and concise so it can fit within the character count. So this is pretty cool. But if you're ever unhappy with the results, what you can just do is come up here and regenerate it. So just simply save and submit will regenerate a new response. And as you can see here, it's already typing a completely different post. And what's really cool is all your previous versions are saved here. You just head over here and you can see 202, and you click over there and you'll see the first response here. Okay, now on Amazon, one of the biggest challenges is getting product reviews. One way this tool can help you get more of them is by having it write your product inserts. Let's give it a try and see what we get here. I sell washable pee pads for dogs on Amazon. Create a very short and fun product insert message. Make sure to thank customers for their purchase and supporting a small business. Ask them to leave feedback on Amazon about their experience. Thank you for choosing our washable pee pads for dogs. Your purchase helps support a small business and we appreciate it. We hope your furry friend. Okay, so this isn't as fun to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and regenerate another one. Woof, woof, thank you for supporting our small business. So this is starting off way better and it's more fun. So as you can see here, you can generate better responses and oh, cool, you even put an emoji there. So this is actually looking pretty good and we can just copy and paste this onto a product insert and then add it into our packaging here. Another way you can use this tool is for customer service, and in particular, writing responses to buyer messages. So say you get an email like this from one of your customers, and all you have to do right now is copy this and paste it over to the chat. Reply to the above email from a customer who had a poor experience with our washable pee pads for dogs. Thank them for supporting our small business. Make sure to be professional, make sure to acknowledge their problem, apologize for the inconvenience, and offer a full refund or free replacement here. And then, okay, it included her name here. We understand you only received one package when you had ordered 2, so that's really neat. Please accept our sincerest apologies. So it's doing a really good job at being professional here. We would like to make this right by you. So it's including a lot of great words in here. And honestly, like we could have wrote this, but it's being probably more professional than we could have been, and it's taking it off our plate. So I really like this. This is pretty much good to send. If, this wasn't a really old message, we'd probably just copy and paste this and send it right to her. Now, another way you can use this tool is to warn hijackers to get off your listing. And unfortunately, we do have a real life example that I can show you here. On one of our products, we have this pesky hijacker who's just living in our buy box, waiting for us to go out of stock. The minute we do, he's gonna step in and sell a counterfeit product under our brand name. But here's the thing, like a lot of other sellers that this happens to, we are brand registered. So while we could go in and ask Amazon to remove them, it's a whole process and it can sometimes take a few days or even weeks. That's why it's usually easier to just ask the seller to get lost. So what we can do is say, write a cease and desist letter to an Amazon seller who hijacked my listing, and then you can go ahead and put your ASIN in there as well. Warn them that they must remove themselves from the buy box within 24 hours, or we will open a case with Amazon seller support and have them removed, which may cause their selling account to be suspended or even terminated. And then we go ahead and generate that message. Dear seller, we are writing to inform you that you have hijacked our listing. We demand that you remove yourself from the buy box in 24 hours. Failure to do so will result in suspension or termination. Please be advised that any infringement of our rights will result in legal action. Wow, that's a serious one. Now we could also regenerate it as well. And really what we can do now is just copy and paste this and actually send it to that hijacker. Okay, so I generated it again. This one's a little more aggressive, so we can probably edit this, and then if we wanted to, we could send it to the hijacker.
Yes, this is the exact kind of letter we should be sending.
You know what, I think it's a little too strong. It really is.
No, I like it how it is.
So
send it.
Send it, okay.
Just send it.
Okay. Okay, now let's say that you did send this message to the hijacker and they still haven't removed themselves from your buy box. Another great way to use this tool is to have it write your seller support cases. In this scenario, we can ask it to write a letter to Amazon Seller Central about this incredibly lazy seller named Alan something that's selling counterfeit products on my listing for the following ASIN. Okay, so it generated this message here and it actually said, I believe the seller to be incredibly lazy and not taking the necessary steps to ensure the products are being legit. You know, not the best letter. We could always regenerate it, but you know, it's gonna get the message across to seller support. So even if we send it like this, I think it would work completely fine. But again, you can always generate it again and you'll probably get a better response the second time around. Okay, so in these next few prompts, I'm gonna show you how to use ChatGPT to help you do product research. Now, if you're familiar with our channel, you know that we've talked about the 6 factors that make a good product. But since this tool isn't able to actually estimate Amazon sales, it's not really gonna help us with these first 3. With that said, it's still really great at helping you come up with interesting product ideas that you can then head over to Amazon to verify the level of demand, competition, and profitability. But first, let me show you how you can use it to generate product improvement ideas. Okay, so for this example, I used our opportunity finder tool here to find a good product niche on Amazon that's selling well. And what I came up with was golf swing mat. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is head over to chat and figure out ways that we can differentiate and make our product unique. What are some ways I can make my product, golf swing mat, unique and different than others on the market? And then hit enter. Some of these are practical, some of these aren't. Like for example, incorporate a built-in launch monitor. You know, that would be expensive, although doable, a virtual reality component. But you know, one I liked right here was, you know, incorporate a training aid. So number 4, as well as like, you know, eco-friendly materials. That's a good idea. Offer a money back guarantee. That's like maybe on your website. Create a bundle package. So similar to one of these other recommendations, we could add it saying like include the mat with a training aid, even an instructional book. So that could be a KDP book. You don't even have to actually write the book yourself. You could even use AI to help you with that. That would actually be really cool. Or even a video as well. So these are some ideas. Again, we can keep regenerating these responses and see if we have any more ideas. So in the second response, I actually like this number 3, a portable design. Make it, you know, lightweight and easy to transport so, you know, golfers can take it on the go. That's actually a pretty cool one. Now, this is just one way to brainstorm potential improvement ideas, but personally, I think the better way of doing it is by actually reading product reviews and understanding what customers are saying they like and dislike about the current products on the market. That way you know exactly what you need to do to make a better product. So the next way to use this tool is by doing review analysis. First, find a product in the niche that has a ton of reviews. And with the Jungle Scout extension, you can actually download all the written reviews here. So then once you open the CSV file, what I like to do first is create a filter, and then over here in this helpful vote column, sort Z to A, so that way you're seeing the most helpful reviews here, what everybody's agreeing on. And so in the body here, this is what you can copy. So I'm gonna copy about like 20 or so, although this will, just depend on how much the tool can take, because if you do too many reviews at once, then it can only do so much. So it does have a maximum. So you might have to do these in batches, but I'm just gonna copy the first 20 reviews and then head back over here to chat and then paste them. And then underneath those reviews, you can say, analyze the above list of Amazon product reviews, and then click enter. So it wrote it out here in a paragraph, but I wanna make this a little bit easier to digest. So I'm gonna ask it to create a list summarizing the top 5 things people like about the product, and then the top 5 things people dislike about it, the top 5 desired improvements, and then add any other insights that may be valuable, and then click enter. Okay, so this is really helpful, specifically looking at what people dislike about the product and the desired improvements here. So poor quality and durability, manufacturing, so a lot of quality related issues here. And then what I noticed was the number 5 here. So not suitable for hitting balls with long irons or woods. And it's also in the improvements here. So make it more suitable for hitting balls with all clubs. So for some reason, when you use an iron and you dig into the mat, it's moving around. So that could be a quality issue. So that's something that we would probably improve. And then on the marketing, on our listing, we would directly advertise that, hey, you can use irons on this. It's not gonna move. So these are some really good ideas. Again, we'd probably go back and do this to a bigger bulk of reviews and keep doing this and get through all the reviews. But we just do this on one competitor. You can do this on a bunch of other competitors that sell similar products, and just really keep track of all this stuff and keep it in the same chat box here. And that way you have a full list of potential improvement ideas that you could take to market and then also advertise on your listing as well. The next way you can use this tool is to help generate interesting product ideas. Now there's 2 ways you can do product research. The first way is by starting with Amazon data like sales and profitability estimates and letting that data guide you to the best products to sell. And the second way to do product research is by coming up with your own ideas and then using Amazon data to help validate them. So I'm gonna show you how to do it the second way by using ChatGPT to come up with good ideas. Now going back to the 6 factors of a good product, the one that we can influence the most here is ease to sell. So nothing fragile, electronic, no food items, and products that are small and lightweight will be much easier to store as well as ship. So what we can do now is ask it to list dog products, or whatever niche you're trying to sell in, that are small and lightweight, not fragile, not electronic, and is not a food, and then hit enter. Okay, so it gave us 10 ideas, and again, we can regenerate this entire list to get more of them, but so far all these do seem to fit the criteria that we ask it to. They're all small and lightweight, none of these seem fragile or electronic, they're not food. So I guess, what we could do real quick is, let's say we like one of these, maybe dog bandana, for example. So what we can do is copy this over to Amazon and then pull up the Jungle Scout extension. So when you're starting to analyze different categories on Amazon, the first thing you should do is verify the level of demand, competition, and profitability. And as long as you have the right tools and you know exactly what to look for, you can quickly find out whether or not you should sell this product on Amazon. We made a step-by-step video guide that walks you through this entire research process. So make sure you check out this next video to learn everything you need to know about product research. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Clap in. Lost profits, dang.
Not messing around.
Don't expect it to be